Welcome to this vinyasa yoga practice. For today's practice, all you'll need is your mat, yourself, and some incense if you'd like to cleanse your space and invite in positive energy like I'm doing now. Just a nice touch to add to your practice. We'll start by grounding down and settling in, gently closing your eyes, relaxing your jaw, and drawing awareness to your breath. Flip your palms facing up on your knees. Inhale to the crown of your head, drawing your shoulders up, back, and exhaling them down. From here, we'll take another deep inhale to the crown of your head and exhale back down to your root. Becoming aware of any thoughts that we might have. Being aware of how we feel in our body and how we feel in our lives in this moment. Deep inhale to the crown of your head and exhale back down to your root. We'll take 4 more breaths here, deeply inhaling to the crown and exhaling back down to your root. Noticing how steady our breath is becoming and how present we are also becoming. Moving with your breath, inhale and exhale. 3 more times, inhale and exhale. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. With your next inhale, place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly. And again, inhale to the crown of your head and exhale down to your root. Just tapping into your heart space and your gut, your intuition. Inhale and exhale. Your palms will return to your knees, and with our inhale, our left arm will come up and overhead, taking the head gently towards your shoulder. Inhaling for a neck release. Exhaling deeply. Option to extend your opposite arm for a deeper neck release. Feeling into it with your breath. Big inhale, deep exhale, releasing and taking it over to the opposite side. Right arm comes up overhead and gently guide your head towards your right shoulder. Inhale here, exhaling, inhaling, and extending the left arm for a deeper neck release. Breathing into it, deep inhale, deep exhale, and taking 1 more breath here. Releasing the head, palms come back to the knees. And we'll just take some neck circles here, not going in a full rotation, but just gently rocking your head from left to right. Taking this as intuitive movement and doing what feels good in your body. Take a few more rounds of our neck circles, breathing each time you rotate, staying steady in your breath. And we meet back up in center. Inhale your chest forward, lifting your head, and exhale, rounding your spine, looking down towards your belly button. Again, we inhale forward and exhale, curve the spine. Inhale, chest comes forward, and exhale, curving the spine, looking towards your belly button. Taking 1 more round here, inhaling and exhaling, and starting to make gentle circles. Again, making this an intuitive practice where you're able to feel into your body and feel what your body might be asking you. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. When you're ready, take it to the opposite direction, flowing with the breath, moving into what feels good, waking up the spine, the hips. Place your hands down for support. Your left leg will come to cross over your right in eagle. Just settling in here. Inhale, both arms come up to the crown of the head. Interlace the fingers. And with your exhale, your left arm will come down towards the mat. Right arm will come all the way up overhead, sending your gaze towards the sky for a side body stretch. Inhale and exhale, taking it to the opposite side, making sure that our hips are grounded down to the mat in our side body stretch. Inhale back to center. With your next breath, send both hands up overhead. Exhale down into a twist, placing your left arm behind your back and your right arm will come behind your knee. Inhale here and exhale to twist a little deeper. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling back to center. Taking the hands back for support, we'll windshield wiper the knees, just releasing that from our hips before we prepare for the opposite side. Your right leg crosses over your left into eagle. Ground down here. And with the inhale, send your arms up overhead. Exhale, right arm comes down to the mat. Left arm goes up overhead for your side body stretch. Big inhale. And exhale. One more breath. And meeting back in center, we take it to the opposite side. Left arm comes down to the mat. Right arm comes up overhead. Grounding down through the hips and sending the gaze up towards the sky. Meeting back in center, inhaling both arms up towards the sky and taking your twist on the right side. And in our twist, we want to be mindful that we're moving with our chest, sending the gaze over the shoulder, and again backing off when we need. Again, placing your hands behind you for support. We'll just rinse that out with some windshield wipers, taking the knees from left to right. And finding your way to all fours tabletop position, aligning your knees with your hips and your wrist with your shoulders. Send your hips up, back, and down for your first downward facing dog of the practice. Breathing into it, taking some organic movement here, maybe pedaling out the legs, waking up the hamstrings, or maybe rocking from left to right. Pressing into your mat with your fingers. It's completely fine if your heels don't touch the mat. We'll just work with our breath here. So staying strong in this position through the inhale and exhale. With your next inhale, your right leg goes up towards the sky, downward facing dog splits, bending your knee to take some hip circles on the right side, 3 times in one direction, opening up the hip joint, and then 3 times in the opposite direction. And when you're done with that, extend your leg back straight and gently place it back down towards the mat. And preparing for the opposite side, we inhale, the left leg goes up towards the sky, bending the left knee, and again taking the hip circles, going 3 times in one direction. 3 times in the opposite direction. If you hear some small pops and cracks, that's completely normal. Extend your leg back straight and place it gently down to your mat. With our next inhale, shift forward into plank. Drop your knees and untuck your toes for chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Sending the shoulders back. Gaze is forward, tucking the knees, and then sending your hips up and back and down for downward facing dog. From here, send your right leg back up towards the sky, bending your knee and pulling it all the way through for a low lunge. Setting up in your low lunge, preparing for a twist, the right arm will go all the way up towards the sky, while your left hand is placed down in line with your shoulder. Exhale, dropping your right arm, gaze looks back, and inhale, bring it all the way forward, reaching forward. And then again, exhaling back and inhaling forward. One more time. Exhale it back and inhale forward. On our next round, we're going to hold. So exhale it back, hold, steadying your breath, staying strong and activated, and placing your hand back down towards the mat. And then from here, we're going to walk our foot towards the outer edge of the mat for pigeon pose. And in pigeon pose, requires our hips to be very open. So if you don't find that you're touching the floor, you can place a towel, a pillow, or even a block if you have one underneath your left hip. Inhale, both hands come up towards the sky and palms meet in prayer. Feeling how open we are in this position, how strong we are. Steadying your breath. Inhale and exhale. Both arms come down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Activate your leg, and using your core, pull your left leg all the way up and back to meet in downward facing dog. Super nice. Before we prepare for the opposite side, we'll just take a moment to rinse that out, pedaling out the legs in our downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up towards the sky, and using the core, we activate to pull it all the way through, step through our hands, sliding back into your low lunge. Staying strong here. Right arm goes up towards the sky for a twist, and your gaze will follow. Noticing how activated and strong you are. Your right arm will drop behind you, and inhale it forward, reaching towards what's in front of you. Exhaling back and inhaling forward. Exhaling back and inhaling forward. On this next round, we hold. Exhale it back, hold, smile. Feel yourself becoming stronger, more focused. A few more breaths, and placing your hand back down to your mat, we'll walk the foot towards the outer edge, preparing for pigeon. On the opposite side, placing the palms in front of you, option to stay here if this is enough for you. Or beginning to take your arms all the way up overhead, and hands will meet in prayer. I invite you to take this moment to think about an intention that you want to carry with you for the rest of your practice, or maybe the rest of your day. Holding that intention in your heart, place your hands back down to the mat, untuck your toes, use your core to send your leg up and back to downward facing dog. Taking a moment just to rinse that all out, pedaling out the legs, finding stillness if you'd like in your downward facing dog. Coming back once more to your breath. Let's take a few more rounds of breath here. And with your next breath, inhale your weight forward, drop your knees, untuck your toes, and we'll take our knees wide towards the outer edge of our mat as we come to sit down towards our heels in child's pose, extending the arms straight out in front of us and placing our forehead gently on the mat. We find stillness in this position, and we have the opportunity to come back to our intention and think about what it means for us, what it means for us in our life, in our practice, and who we are. A few more rounds of breath here. And with your next breath, we'll walk your hands over to the right side for a side body stretch in child's pose. Coming back to center and preparing for the opposite side, walking your arms to the left side for a left side body stretch in child's pose. And coming back to center. As we meet back in center, we find stillness for a few rounds of breath. With your next inhale, push yourself up back into tabletop position, realigning to find your way gracefully to lying down on your back. Drawing your knees up towards your chest. Here we'll make ourselves small like a little ball. Squeeze your knees up to your chest, hug yourself tight. I like to tell myself I love you in this position. Give my little knees a kiss. Just some self-love here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As tight as you can. And when you're ready, release your legs gently. Taking some knee circles. Again, finding intuitive movement here. So making knee circles 3 times in one direction. And then when you're ready, taking it to the opposite direction. Meeting back in neutral, we'll take our arms out into a T position. And as we drop our knees to the left, our gaze will go to the right for a low back release. Option to stay here, or if you want to deepen this low back release, you can extend your bottom leg straight and take your hand over your top knee. Feeling into this nice release, the lower back. And again, finding stillness. When you're ready, bringing both knees back up to your chest, realigning and taking it to the opposite direction. As your knees drop to the right, your gaze will go to the left. Again, you have the option to extend the bottom leg straight and place your hand over your top knee if you want to go a little deeper in this position. Slowly beginning to draw both knees up to your chest. We'll bring our legs down for happy baby, opening the knees and grabbing your big toe with your peace fingers. Just rocking out, finding organic movement in your happy baby. Maybe straightening one leg and then straightening the other. Again, doing what feels good in your body. We always aim to make our practice intuitive and just shift our mindset away from being the most flexible or going the deepest in the asana, but more shift your mindset towards how present you can be and how connected in your own body, in your home, that you can be. Beginning to draw your knees back down towards the mat if they were extended, and taking some more organic movement here. I really like to rock out in my happy baby. I invite you to do the same until you're ready to release both legs down straight to the mat. Flip your palms up towards the sky. Let your feet hang heavy, let your arms hang heavy by your side. Option to take your left hand to your belly and your right hand to your heart once again, tapping into that heart space and tapping into that space of intuition, of inner knowing, and staying connected there. We've reached the final asana, the final posture of today's class. I invite you to stay here for as long as you need, and enjoying this moment for you, this moment for peace. And just gently coming out of my Shavasana, I want to thank you so much for joining me during this practice. It's always an honor to share with others the practice of yoga. To close our practice, we'll inhale both your hands up towards the sky and a loud exhale, drawing them down towards your heart center. Again, inhaling both hands up towards the sky and exhaling them loudly down towards your heart center. Last time, big inhale and a loud exhale as you pull your hands towards your third eye center. We'll take this moment to bow in gratitude for all that was, all that is, and all that will be, and also to the practice of yoga. We bow. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.